Well, all right, guys, Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube, and as you guys know, I have traveled to France. So I'm outside of my little headquarters for the next 18, 19 days. So I've got a temporary office here in a little town called Nadines, France. It's not far from the Celeb, and it's a good place for me to kind of get re-energized again. So since I left Biloxi, had some obligations there in Paris for the Tour de France, and it was a bit of work, but it was also fun. But I hit the ground running, and of course I hit the ground without my GoPro. So I left my GoPro, and you know, that's normally my go-to for shooting video. Even though I do a lot of social media, I've never been taught social media, and I'm on crutches, basically. I do what seems to work for me, and that's upload things to the GoPro, put it on my SD card, put my SD card in my little computer, and upload it to YoCut video editor. And I don't even know how to use a YoCut video editor, so I put my little beginning screen on and I let it rip for you guys. But I want to up my game. So as I've got a little bit more time on my hands, and I'm saying I have a free time on my hands because I do have a lot of obligations, but I don't I'm not running Biloxi Bicycle Works anymore. So being a sole proprietor basically takes a lot of your time doing retail, and owning a bike shop in 2025, 2020, you know, since COVID has really taken up most of my life. It was a lifelong dream of mine to own a bike shop, and I can see why. It's such a fulfilling career, helping people with health and fitness, helping people find excitement and adventure in their life. It's fantastic. It just didn't pay the bills, and I'm taking the blame for that myself as a veteran businessman. There's things I could have done at Biloxi Bicycle Works to maybe serve my own pocketbook a little bit better, and because I didn't do that, now I'm in this position where, you know, I've lost the bike shop. Oh man, I'm broke. You know, I'm beyond broke. You know, I owe more than I can pay off right now. But you know, there's definitely a silver lining to that story, and this is it. One of them right here. I'm in France. I'm in a beautiful. I mean, look at this meadow right here. This is a beautiful meadow. Behind me is the French Alps, and because of some sponsorship, I am definitely in a good place to refine myself. And you know, people say, you know, I'm self-centered, but I like who I am. You know, I like Bart Luther. I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I'm just not really comfortable with the financial position I'm at 55 years old. After having a lucrative corporate career, to kind of throw that all away and chase the American dream and do what you love to do, and that's open a bike shop. And I let that bike shop financially break me. But I didn't want to be selfish. You know, there's things that I love to give away. I love to give away my spirit of cycling, and you know, was it all worth it? It's hard to say right now. I'm really proud of some of the things I accomplished at the bike shop, and I get accolades from the community and from individuals, and from people all over the world, really, about how my enthusiasm for cycling has changed their lives in a positive way, and that makes me happy. But when it comes down to it, there's my pockets, they're empty, but my heart is full, and the universe is taking care of me at the moment. I've always been very, very self-sufficient, so I never believed in just trusting the universe to take care of me. That I've always, you know, worked hard to pay my bills and take care of all those around me. And at the moment, I'm as a grown man, I'm having to rely on other people and they said they're happy. People are happy to help me right now, and gosh, my heart goes out to them, because I think about how many people I've helped, and I don't regret it. You know, I don't, even when that help turned out to be a mistake or misleading on my end, you know, misled by other people, but that's okay. You know, you live and you learn, and it makes you who you are. And who I am right now is someone breathing fresh air, going through these valleys of the French Alps. I have a nice office to work in to try to up my YouTube game, and I want to ask you guys some questions on that. I really want to showcase cycling lifestyles, and I think there's a lot of people out there in the world that want to find these little pockets of little known places to ride your bike, have fun doing it, not spend a whole lot of money, and not have to travel to far off destinations to do it. I met a guy yesterday after hiking. I was hiking on the Selev, which is that mountain right there. You can't really, well, I'll walk over that way. So the Selev, and I met a gentleman at the end of my hike who was getting ready to go to Egypt. I think he said to the Red Mountains. I'm gonna have to look it up. I've got him on camera, but he was packing his bike up, and I noticed he had a bike bag and he was putting it into his car, and I said, taking your bike with you, because that's something that's near and dear to my heart, because I just took my bike with me from Biloxi, Gulfport Airport to France, and it made it. So I'm uploading that video today. Today's August 1st, so you guys will see that video here coming up pretty shortly. But that mountain right there is called the Selev, and that's where I was able to hike yesterday in the beautiful little village. So this guy lives at the base of the Selev, and he gets to go ride his bike in Egypt, and he was so excited. Of course, I didn't know who he was. He doesn't know who I am, but we had something in common, and that was the love of cycling. And I think that's a common thread throughout the world, is people love cycling, or people that's looking for adventure in their life, and the bicycle is a good way to find that. So I was lucky enough to bring one of my old bikes that I bought back from a customer here to France with me, and I'm going to try to unpack that bike today. And I doubt I'm going to be able, when I woke up, I wanted to go for a ride. I'm not going to be able to ride it today because I've got a rock concert to go to in the mountains of France tonight. But when it comes down to it, I really want to up my YouTube game. You guys have stuck with me through my, throw it out there completely raw. Sometimes I don't even put thumbnails on my videos, and I guess that's a big no-no with YouTube. But a lot of times I don't know how, or I try, and the technology gets me all screwed up, and I only have a few minutes to do this stuff, and I send it out anyway. So thank you guys for following me. I do appreciate that, but I'm gonna do you guys better and up my game with that. I also I do a lot of videos on the fly, as far as just throwing them out there, YouTube shorts and stuff. And I found in Europe something called a data plan that tripped me up. I'm on a very, very limited budget, and I couldn't afford to put more data on my plan. So I guess uploading videos to YouTube takes a lot of data. I mean, that should click in my head, but I've never had to worry about it because I'm on an unlimited data plan back in Biloxi. And then here I'm on something called roaming. So I had to quickly buy something called a Nomad data card that gave me 50 gigabytes. I don't know how far 50 gigabytes goes when you're uploading videos, but I stopped doing that. So there's a lot of video I haven't put up over the last few days. One, because I didn't have my GoPro, and two, because shooting off my cell phone, my new Google Pixel 9a, I was scared to upload and use too much data. But I have Wi-Fi here at my office here in France, and I will be uploading videos today. I'm slow at it. I'm really, so it takes me a while, even though you guys know I don't do a whole lot of editing. It takes me a while to upload videos. So I really want some help from some kind of AI, maybe an AI platform of some sort. And I've asked Gemini, which is a AI. Again, I'm not used to asking artificial intelligence for anything, but I guess that's the way the world's going. So I asked Gemini, and it came up with several different choices. Now I've got to weigh out those choices, see how much it costs, and see how much it's going to save me time, or is it just something I've got to learn. So if you guys have any advice there, let me know. But I want something fairly easy that I could do on the fly. Well, this is my life, August 1st here in Nadine's, France. I'm looking for some riding buddies. I'm just down the road from Geneva, Switzerland, and I know Geneva's a cycling hub, so I'm sure there's maybe a coffee bar, a cycling coffee bar, or a group of cyclists that meet somewhere. If you guys know, please send me it on the comments. There's a really cool place in Switzerland that I know called Tets de Course, and they have local group rides. It's a coffee cycling bar, and I want to hang out there. But it's about a half an hour from where I'm at, and I think, and that's in a car. Or a train, probably more than that. So I want to find a local cycling group around Nadine's France, around the Celeb, that wants to ride with me, or I'll make my own cycling group. If you're in the area and you want to ride, let me know. I've got a Garmin, and we can figure out a map on our own. But I have had several invites. I got an invite today to go to Sardinia, Italy, an island in Italy, to do a gravel race. And I believe that's September 7th. So I haven't completely accepted that offer yet, but it's pretty cool to get invited to a gravel race in Sardinia, Italy. I felt so bad. I had to Google Sardinia because I don't know the European continent that well as far as my geography. Also don't know the language. I thought I could learn French quickly. Oh, I'm having trouble learning French, just a few phrases. So. But when you're in another country, I definitely want to respect that country and do my best to speak its language. But finding out that it's harder than I thought. I am 55 years old, and they say when you get old, some of these things become harder. And at 55, I don't feel old. And I want to help other people that are 55 not feel old too. So, hey, I'm super, super lucky. I went for a jog down this road yesterday. There's tons and miles or kilometers and kilometers of these little farm roads to jog down. There's elevation here. Oh, speaking of elevation, you guys, I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but I see a guy doing a paraglider up there, and I met a paraglider yesterday. He was telling me how you can put one in a backpack, so I'd love to get into that. Anyway, this is update. Get ready to see a lot more video. I've got a lot of coverage. This is the little car that I get to use while here in Europe. But I'm also want to ride my bike and commute by bike and use public transportation just because it's so good around here. I took a train from Paris, France here, and the train was awesome. But this is my life, Bicycle Rider YouTube for now. And if you like what I do, just like and subscribe, and I'm going to do my best to showcase cycling culture from all over the world. And I don't want it to be super polished. I don't want it to be scripted. I just want it to be raw and real and inviting for other people to want to be able to do this type of stuff. So anyway, this is the oldest street in Nadine's France, and the house and the office that I'm staying in here is part of a 15th century heritage. So Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube. I gotta go upload some video. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking with me.